So I finished building everything I need to inside. And now it's got to build a shelf for the bottom, slip it in through the back. I'll have a chance after I finish bondoing and staining for probably the next 2 weeks. So I cut the shelf to fit. I'm going to put a little front on the little shelf that goes across. I wanted to leave it open so that I could put taller things in, up to 24 inches anyways. And then there's 2 shelves on each side. That front will be enclosed obviously, and my 2 doors go on. So now I've done most of the wood. A couple little pieces here and there for dividers. Now I'm going to finish gooping it up and sanding it. So I got the first coat of stain on. I got to try and get the sideboards, which is the newer wood, similar wood to the front, so it should match in, but you never know with pine. But I'm trying to get it to look a little bit more closer to the ceiling in the van, so we'll see what happens. With the second coat, I'm going to have to double up on those. Meanwhile, I've been working on where the lighting goes underneath, and I trimmed it. My camera will fit up against that. And then I'll do another piece up there that kind of tilts up, so I have to jig it up a bit. And this side I started. It's a little different because there's no light under it, and I didn't have the boards to staple in, so I'm going to, like I did, screw in, and then I'll put my top trim along the top. Got my trim underneath, but no lights on this side, so I have the little pin lights up there. So it cleans it up nice. So I've got it all stained and pretty well the color I want. As you can see, I started the white and I'm getting there. So after I do the white, I've added a plug on the side, which will be behind the seat. And I have the shelves that I made. I changed them up even. I'm going to put a piece of wood at the back. When it's up against the wall, it'll be like a little place to put stuff. Yeah, so staining trim. Finished staining this. And it matches the ceiling pretty good. And there's the cord for the power box. I'll cut that down and run that up. And that basically just runs into the trunk, so when I plug the truck in, it just comes live, and then that plug will come live. Left the brackets in, so they'll, just put it in, and that puts it pretty close to where I want it to go. And I'm working on the doors, which I'm just painting white, and it's a mess doing the wire like that. Bring a different color blue in. We'll see. I changed the shelves out a bit. I put the trim on to bring a little bit of the color into they're just drying. And then I bought this kind of like textured film to go on plexiglass, which I had because it's very expensive, and I had it. It's going to fit in, and then I'll put this on it. It's kind of got like a leaf look. We'll see how that looks, and then that'll let the light in and out of the cabinet because I do have a light inside. And in the bottom I made like a shelf across so that this front area can be left open for something tall right up to that shelf. So I use that as a small shelf, and then on each side inside it has a decent shelf. Back of the plug in that one. But the bottom will be a decent size too. I might put a piece of wood across on these 2 sides just to section it off. And as I'm waiting for it to dry, I did the other side. Put the trim across. No lights under this because it was just an idea for the other side. And here I had to screw it on because I didn't have the board underneath. So I used my button idea. And it goes up to the cab. Now I got to trim across. There's my 2-pin lights for the door entrance. My light. It goes right back to the back here. So I got the tile in. I haven't grouted it. I trimmed around. I haven't fastened that, but that's the little shelf that's going on the side. I ended up tiling the inside and the bottom of the cabinet. The white shelf is a 4-inch piece of wood there, so behind it I have 4 inches to the wall that I can stand things up and sort of divide the cabinet a little bit. Top and bottom, same thing. So it's got to grow. Lights all in, plugs in, but I haven't wired. So after I grout it, I'm going to put it in and square it all up against the wall as best I can and make it look as straight as I can. I'll grout it now. Trim nailed on. Took the shelves off for now because I'm going to bring it into the van. Put the tile right through. Put the trim on the edge. The other side. And then the white divider is going to have a piece of trim across the top. And it's like a cubby. Once it goes up against the wall, it has a backing. This one I'm going to put plexiglass across so that the light passes through to that one. Yeah, so I'm going to put it in the van, square it up, and then finish the doors and call it done. A few things on that white stuff, don't know yet. So I slid it into place. Cabinet is coming along good. It's pretty well squared up in there. So I got 2 back shelves from there to the wall, stand-up things. A couple cupboards, not that big, not that small. But that old carpet I had in the bottom there, that's sort of got wide open. Basically, for taller things. Put a little push light on top, again battery operated. And I got 2 shelves with a shelf going across. So good storage. So once I put the doors on, I've pretty well done the tiles. I got my plug in there somewhere. Oh, there it is. I got a plug over there behind the seat. Not a great spot, but at least I could reach and put a phone charger or something in. A little filler there because I don't want to see light coming through. And then I finished this side with the extra wood and the trim. It's all finishing work, but it's cool. I got trim for this. Got to wire in the lights properly. Got to wire my receptacle in. It's a little dark, but that's sort of like little small cubbies. I can put my phone in better so that, you have a space back there, a space up front. What I do is I got this plexiglass because I want the light to pass through there down to this section like it's sort of doing. And when I put this plexiglass in, it will it fell into place. So now the plexiglass is my shelf bottom for the extra gap I left on the wood, which lets the light through. You can store shampoo or anything inside there. And then start working on the doors. So I got the doors, a few coats of paint on it. I had this plexiglass around the shop. I had enough to do the 2 doors, so don't have to spend any money. So the wire, I painted it kind of a turquoise blue. Don't know yet, but it's been my story all along. Don't know, but that's going to go on. Then I'm going to put the plexiglass inside, and then I'm going to cover the inside of the plexiglass with that film material that you can buy with patterns on it. The one I have is kind of got leaves on it, clear leaves. So once I get the two doors done and put together, then I can hinge them. So I inserted the piece that I painted and put the knob on. I put plexiglass behind it, but as you can see, the film is cool, but it's not private enough because I don't really want to see inside the closet. So that was a mistake. I'll have to pick up a different pattern that's more private. So the plexiglass nice and clear. And there's the knob. Just throw it up and see what it looks like. Okay, so I've installed the doors temporarily just to make sure they fit. This door was a different door that overlapped on this door, so it has this lip, and I didn't cut it off, but I'm going to take that door off and cut it off because I don't like it. It sticks out. I want it to be the same. They touch, as you can see, so when I have this door off, I'm going to skim a bit off on the circular saw because the bottom film, I prefer the top film that I used, and I left the bottom film that's on there on, so it doubled it up so it's not so transparent. And my shelves are on, and this type of knob, but I gotta repaint these doors. The blue isn't really popping like I thought it was going to, so it's more subtle, but I'm gonna wait to see. I can do so much with this middle part. I'm still unsure, and the white areas I'm not sure. I'm not finished there. And I added this, but I'm not sure. I like it. I got one for the other side, so I just put a small screw there. So that's where I'm at. Almost finished. I ended up tiling the front. I didn't like the white. I'm going to put a little light under there just to light up the tile. It would look kind of cool. Found these corner brackets. Thinking of doing that. Still not sure. I like the door. I like that I can just see through with the light on. With it light off, you don't see much. Bottom door, I had to do some things, so I had to repaint it. So I'm just waiting to paint it, and I'm going to silicone those wires in when I'm sure that's how I want it to. It's kind of like a blue, lighter blue. And then inside I have this back shelf, and back shelf. And I managed to get a latch in because I didn't calculate it. That's good. Sits nice. And then I just put the bottom on and grout the tiles eventually. So with the trim button up against it like that, looks pretty nice. Again, coming off this side, I have to do, I don't really like this trim, so I think I'm just going to cut another piece of the blue thinner and just do it, because I had to go up to there, and yeah, so it's just the way it ended, so I don't really like that. I'll figure it out. Start working on the console, and then it's my doors, and I'm pretty well ready to do some mechanical and be ready for Van Fest, hopefully. Canada Van Fest.